Good evening, and welcome to night 2 of Cliffyland's Global Cooking Challenge. Tonight is night 2 of dining on the food of Somalia. And tonight we will be making 2 dishes. One is called, I hope I get this right, Suqaar, and also we're making that with Lahooh, which is kind of Somalia's version of injera bread. Thank you for liking the restream, Dashi. Again, in case you're wondering where we are, we're cooking the food of Somalia, which is right there on the Horn of Africa. A complicated place with some very interesting food. This is our second night of dining on the food of Somalia, so let's spin us around here. Whoopsie-doo, there we go, and let's see. There we are. So we're having a little Somali party here as we dine on the food of Somalia. Remco, hello, thank you for the restream there. So let me get this sucker going. Because we have, again, a curious situation. If you were with us last time on Sunday night, it was the first time we're doing this that the husband wasn't here to have the food, and we had a friend come over, a very camera-shy friend, be part of this. So we didn't get to actually see the finished product, and I apologize for that, but everything will be on the blog tomorrow night at cliffyland.com, right there. And tonight, the husband isn't here right now, but he is going to be arriving like in about an hour and a half. And then he has to get his bag and get here, so dinner is going to be late. So it may be that I just finish it and then just keep it warm and show it to you and then go. I don't know. But we're going to play it by ear. But the primary thing is the fact that the bread that we're making, the, I don't know, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, Lahooh, L-A-H-O-O-H, is normally you would ferment the dough on that for about 2 days, and we didn't do that. We didn't have time for it. If you want to see kind of more how it would work, you can see the post we had for Eritrea and Ethiopia at cliffyland.com. The Eritrea one, I kind of screwed up, the injera bread. And then for Ethiopia, I got it right. That one used teff flour, which is more traditional, at least for them. So what I found for Somalia was a little bit different, so we're going to see how that goes. Hey, Santos, like for the restream. Like the button, oh, yes, it's weird. Sometimes it doesn't notice the likes. But thank you, though. Thank you very much. So I need to get going on the dough first, because that needs to rest for like an hour and a half, proof, before I can actually use it. So let's just do that. So I got my bowl, and we're going to start mixing the flour in our bowl. And I hope this is going to work. Oh, that reminds me. I don't have a warm place, because here we have an air-conditioned place and we have outdoors. There's no warm place. So I'm going to do what my friend suggested. I'm going to preheat the oven to like 170 and then turn it off and then just put my, dough in there. But here we go. I can't, I'm not a big fan of working with flour, and here I am working with flour just about every week. So we have a combination of flours this time. We'll get into some odd details later. Girly X, Jessica, thank you for the like and the restream. And we're listening to our Somali party, which took some doing because the Apple Music wasn't being friendly and letting me discover every Somali album out there. But I think I hope I didn't go too far afield. I tried to only find things that were Somali and not from Mali or from Ethiopia or somewhere else. Okay, so we need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and this is the all-purpose flour, so we're going to go with 1.5 cups. So there's 1.5 is over here. Okay, so 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Step 1. Like I said, normally the injera bread the Ethiopian injera bread would use teff flour, T-E-F-F, which actually still have some of that. Part of, well, we'll get into details of that later. I need to get moving on this. But this, we're not using that. We're doing this combination of other stuff. So the all-purpose flour, and then to make this work, we're going to mix that in with, oh, this is heavy, hold on. Yeah, don't fall. Yeah, don't fall. Okay. Almost had an avalanche. Whole wheat flour. Okay. So, we're mixing in 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour. Yeah. Which, I hate flour, because it's always so damn messy. Did I take a picture of that? No, I didn't. So, there is... Come on, focus. Okay. And 1/2 cup. So we're going with... that's... 3/4. Hold on a second. Gotta get this all figured out. The labels on these washed away. So, this is 1/2. Okay. And I could get a Sharpie and write it on there, but that requires brains. Okay, so we're mixing 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour in with that. So let's take a picture of you. Okay. And to that, we're going to add something else. Do you care if I share a link? What do you mean? What kind of link? It depends. Is it pertinent? Any case, next we're gonna get millet flour. So millet flour is our third part of this, and this is my cabinet of 1,000,001 flours of the world. And I checked that I had the millet flour earlier. Hopefully my hands will grab it. Okay. Ta-da! Millet flour. Okay. I have the 1,001 flours of the world tucked away back here. Indeed. Okay. So this is millet flour. You'll find, like in the, nope, LOL. Okay. But you'll find the flours, different flour section, like usually in your gluten-free section of your stores, any grocery store. And this Red Mill brand tends to be the one that has just about, most things that you need when you do this kind of thing. So we're doing 1/2 cup of the millet flour. And stone ground whole grain millet flour. Okay. So you can't even see from there, can you? Is that Drew? Drew, thank you for the restream. Millet flour is very yellow, by the way. I don't know if you can see from there. It's much more yellow than whole wheat flour or all-purpose flour, which is more white. I don't know if you can tell from the colors in there. But that's what that looks like. I'm glad to get more use of the millet flour. I don't remember what country it was, but a while back I made millet flour pancakes for a country, and that was very tasty. I mean, it was this batter, and it was just, basically it was pancakes that were with millet flour, and it was really very tasty. There's a lot of stuff that, like, the gluten-free folks, are more used to having, because there are so many flours that are out there. Yes, hey there. Okay, so, I'm gonna take this sugar out too. Might as well take it out now. So after the millet flour, we get 3 cups of water. Oh, let me make sure I have my yeast. I'm a little paranoid about this. Oh, good gosh almighty. Yay!
Oh, so frightened I didn't have yeast. Okay. Anything involving yeast tends to be a disaster for me, so, you know, brace yourselves. So 3 cups of water we're going with. So, there'll be 2 cups here. I know I should be like mixing this in some way and something, but between taking pictures and blabbing, I can never quite pull that off. So 3 cups of water. Okay. And we're adding, what is it, 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. Better be, and I got quick rise yeast here, so hopefully that will work. Scissors. Okay. Alrighty. We're again 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. There better be 1.5 teaspoons worth in here, otherwise I am in a bad way. Okay. Hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. Big money, big money. Yeah, I think I might do it. Okay. That's 1, and then 1/2. You're gonna see I didn't have to do a whole lot of math before in prepping for this week, but you'll see where that comes into things later. Okay, here's our 1/2 on the yeast. I guess the rest of this is just gonna go. I should mix this together because somebody warned me earlier about salt killing yeast, and salt is coming. Salt is coming. So I need to add sugar and then salt. This is what it said. So just so you know, I'm following the instructions. So now we're adding 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Now normally, like I said, one would make a starter and let this ferment for like a day or 2 or 3. This recipe didn't say that, which is, you know, probably the lazy man's recipe, the one that doesn't work right or something, so, you know, forewarned. Zumsolman, thank you for the like and the restream. Okay, so that's 1 teaspoon of sugar, and we're going with 1/2 teaspoon more, 1/2. Okay, jingle jangle. I can't believe I'm almost going through this entire big thing of sugar. Okay. I need to thank you properly. Jurgen, oh Jurgen, yes, say. I gotta put names to the handles there. You're in Holland. I think I seem to recall. So it's very late where you are. Okay, I'm giving this a chance here. Drew, thank you for the like. I'm giving this a chance before I put in the salt because, you know, I was warned about salt killing yeast. It didn't say anything about, you know, taking time or anything like that. So, just so you know, this isn't, you know, me just being screwy. I can get plenty screwy on my own. So we're gonna go ahead and add our salt, because that's what it said. So going with a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of salt. So salt. Salt. Okay. So I hope my being slow will have done enough to, you know, make that happy. Okay. So now that we have our salt in here, we're mixing this to form a batter, stirring to avoid lumps, and then we're gonna put it somewhere warm for an hour, an hour and a half. So I'm kind of doing okay on time. Stir to avoid lumps. Well, it has lumps. I guess I could whisk it. Would probably make it less lumpy. So I'm gonna try that. Hopefully that isn't a gross mistake. Now I put the oven, I preheated it to 170, and then I'm gonna just turn it off and then stick it in there. Because like I said, I don't have a warm place to put this. I'm gonna cover this. I guess I'm gonna cover it with a warm towel, with a wet towel or something. Okay, because this is going to being a batter. Has anyone ever had injera bread? I apologize to the Somali population who may be seeing this now or at some point in the future for referring to it as injera. Lahooh, I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Hey Derek, how you doing? Thanks for the like and the restream. So this is the batter for our lahooh. Lahooh? L-A-H-O-O-H. But we'll get into the details on that in a minute. Okay, this seems to be without lumps now. Yay. So, okay, so in there you go. I will get this in a moment. I am on the German side of the Dutch-Belgian-German triangle. Not tired yet, so nice to see you again, so inspiring. Thank you very much, Jürgen. You are most kind. Once upon a time, long time ago, I was in that neck of the woods. Like, just zipping through. Liked it very much, want to go back. Okay, so we're gonna cover this with something. Like a fool, I grabbed the largest bowl that the lily pads don't go on. So I'm going to moisten a towel. I have a damp, clean towel, and I'm going to put this over the bread, or the bowl, and then stick that in the oven, which is going to be turned off. Okay, it was 170, now it's going to be off. So, in you go. Yeah, nuts. Okay, how about there? Ow. Okay. So it's warm, but not hot. And it's going to be off. Because there's a warming drawer underneath there, but I've had this problem that goes back to way back when I cooked Bosnia and the bees years ago. First time I tried using that drawer. And in the metal bowl, it kind of cooked it, which wasn't right. So that's going to sit there for an hour and a half. And that's 7:45 or longer, actually, because I'm picturing not even starting that till 8, because the husband's, you know, not getting here until well after 8. So that winds up being a batter that gets, you know, fried to order in a skillet, and then just make several ones. In fact, you know, since I'm sort of killing time or trying to drag things out, as it were, I have an idea that when I cook these, hold on. Come on. Sorry about that. Okay, my bamboo steamer. I'm not steaming anything, but when you get the breads, like an Indian restaurant and so forth, you know, they have the towel and they all keep warm inside. I don't have that gizmo. I have you know, a bamboo steamer is what I have. So it won't be until like much later. Hey Junior, thank you for liking the restream. Boom boom to you too. But I'm gonna put a towel in here and just kind of get that ready for the last stage of operations hours from now. So that way they can land in here, I'm hoping. And then I'll be able to just cover them, I think. I hope that'll work. I don't need the bottom layer, but like that, to keep them warm until I serve them. Sounds yummo. See you later, God Dash. Okay, thank you, Drew. Thank you for coming by. I do appreciate that. Drew32. Okay, so now we're gonna get moving on to dish number 2, which is the primary dish, and it's called Suqaar. S-U-Q-A-A-R, which is sort of like a beef cubes with vegetables. And from everything I read, were it not for the fractious situation that is Somalia and its many parts and crises, it is suggested that this would be the national dish. It is outrageously simple, which would be good on a good night. However, since you know, the husband doesn't get home till much later, I'm gonna be very slow here. So, you know, if you're watching this in the future, you're gonna be like zipping away, you know, to either click away or move to the end of all this. But so we're gonna get moving on this. We're gonna start chopping our beef first. Now, as I said on Sunday, the meat that is used in Somali dishes can be a number of things. Ow, sorry. There's a number of dishes that are goat, and I chose not to make the long trip and go find goat and, you know, attempt that again. I'm sure I'll get another chance soon enough. I've been punting on goat ever since the Congo, and I screwed it up for like the second, third time. Normally they use camel meat if they can, but they can't spare the camels because they need them for transportation. So then it becomes beef or chicken, or I keep saying turkey, except I don't know if turkey's, you know, being indigenous there, but maybe they are, and I just don't know. Beef. Now the cut of beef that I got. Now this recipe that I found, there's a number of different ones, and I was trying to compare and merge them and try to bring it down to, you know, a reasonable amount of servings, because the one I saw said like 6 to 8 servings, and that's way too much because we're only 2 people. So I got sirloin tips. Again, I wanted a better cut of beef. These are already thinly sliced, and but normally these are cut into very, very small cubes. And it said small cubes, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's where we're gonna get going. And I can babble on about the bread while I do that. The bread, as I said, now this is, you know, I'm not pretending to be the expert on all this. It's just from, you know, from my personal experience and the research that I have done. I have, you know, much experience eating Ethiopian food, and don't ever, word to the wise, don't ever, you know, confuse an Ethiopian with a Somali person. Neither side will take to that too well. There are many Somali people. The Somali people live across Somalia, as well as parts of Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Kenya, which, since those are the nations that are nearby. If you look at the flag, again, you'll see, like right above my head, it's kind of blue with a white star. The blue is because when it was formed in 1960 out of what was British Somaliland and Italian Somalia, British Somaliland was like the top part. You know, it's like the Horn of Africa. I can't draw it with my hands. It looks like an elbow. The part on the north is the British part, and then the part that's the point and going south, mostly along the coast, was the Italian part, except after World War II, you know, Italians didn't do too well. And it was administered by the United Nations, and they kind of said, let's form a country for the Somali people. And out of the French part, the British part, and the Italian part, and the French part said, yeah, we know we're good. And so they became Djibouti, and that's the little thing that's right in the crook, you know, in the nook there at the top of Africa. And so that kind of stayed on its own. And then the British and Italian parts became what is now Somalia. But what was the British part, you've heard of crises and such in Somalia, the British part considers itself independent. They act as an independent nation. They do trade deals with like Ethiopia, since Ethiopia is landlocked now, to get their stuff to port and such. So they're not doing terribly badly compared to the rest of the country. The rest of the country, not so much. What was the Italian part is starting to come together, except for their other parts that are controlled by, I guess it's the Al-Shabaab, sort of terrorist group that did all the terrible stuff in the mall in Kenya. But Mogadishu is starting to come back to life, and the whole piracy thing has diminished a great deal in the past couple years. So that's good news too. Hey, Miss Jonesy, how you doing? Thank you for liking the restream. Now about the flag. The flag is blue because that was the colors of the United Nations flag. They eventually said, no, now it's because it's the color of sky, or hope, or something. And the 5-pointed star is for the 5 regions where Somali people are found, some of which are in Somalia, and the way I read it, some of them are the areas that are not in Somalia, that are in Kenya or Ethiopia. Most everyone in Somalia, though not all, are ethnically Somali. There's a large diaspora that is people who are Somali who live outside of Somalia because of the troubles and such. That. Is that beef? Yes, it is beef. These are sirloin tips. They're supposed to be cut into like 1/4-inch cubes, very, very, very small, from everything I read. So I'm doing my level best to achieve that. I don't know why it says to do that when you have, could have ground beef, but hey, when in Mogadishu, do as the Mogadishans do. Now, I was talking about Somalia, the British Somalia. What was British Somalia? Calls itself Somaliland, and they do consider themselves independent. No one else recognizes them as such. The other part that is sort of like the Horn, like from the Horn, like a good ways down, is called Puntland, Puntland, like they're punting. They are autonomous, but they don't consider themselves independent. And there's another part which my brain is stopping thinking, which is also autonomous. And then there's kind of the rest of the place, which is not doing too well. The bread that I was mentioning, the injera bread. Has anyone had Ethiopian food before? If you haven't, run out and get some. Hey, Jovette, thank you for the like and the restream. Kathy, how you doing? Thank you for the restream. Ethiopian food, and I apologize to any Somali people who might be watching, because I do have more experience eating Ethiopian food, though I did do my research on the Somali food. Somali food varies a great deal across the country. Hey there, Kathy. Because it is a very, very large country. It is the country in Africa with the longest coastline of any nation in Africa. So think about that. Also, they're also like slightly small in the state of Texas for the U.S. Oriented. So it's a big, big, big country, which is hard to govern. They were considered a failed state. Now they're considered a fragile state. They were for 6 years they were the #1 most failed country, ungovernable country in the world. They are now moved into position #2, which is good for them. Sad for South Sudan, which is now the world's most failed state. Other states are, moving up on that sad list too. But there's some progress here. Back to the bread. If you've ever had Ethiopian food, you'll know that you get served usually on a platter your dishes, and on the bottom of the platter will be this bread. It's very spongy, and every time I've gone to a restaurant, and this is gonna sound kind of gross, but bear with me here. It's like a spongy bread that is kind of usually gray looking, which is not really appetizing when you think about it. But it tastes like sourdough, and the meat or whatever, the vegetables, anything you're having is served on it. And usually in a restaurant, you'll also get in your hand they look like rolled up napkins of the same bread. You cut off little pieces of the bread, and then you grab the meat or whatever with the pieces of the bread. It's called injera bread, and then you eat your dish, with your hands that way. When I cooked Ethiopia and Eritrea, I went and I got the various ingredients, including fenugreek seeds and such, which are not involved in the Lahooh bread here. So there's obviously a difference right there off the bat. But teff flour is normally what you use for the injera bread. When I made it for Ethiopia and Eritrea, I kind of screwed it up because I got a bum steer on the how-to. But for the Ethiopia one, I got it right. But the thing that weirded me out was when I made it, when I was done, I said, "What do you know? It's not gray," which is weird that you would be disappointed that your food isn't gray. It was very chocolate brown, and it tasted delicious. And I asked somebody who I hopefully was telling me the truth, that the deal with that is that teff flour is expensive, hard to come by, and because of the regular, famines that happen in Ethiopia, teff is kind of, the first thing that goes. So the restaurants or whomever who's trying to make the injera bread, you'll find a lot of recipes that tell you how to make it without teff flour, how to fake it with a combination of other flours. And so I'm wondering if this is that same kind of thing. So it's that sort of substitution, from what I understand, that leads to it looking, gray instead of looking chocolate brown when you're in the store and the restaurants and such, from my personal experience. Somali food, again, is very similar to it. I mentioned on Sunday that I had lived for a while, a number of years, in Columbus, Ohio. And Columbus, Ohio is the #2 spot for concentration of Somalis in the U.S. And that's because when a number of refugees were resettled, starting in the 90s, they were resettled first in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then in Columbus, Ohio. So there's a large Somali population. And I went to a Somali restaurant in Columbus, and it was super, super delicious. It was wonderful. And it was interesting in that what I had, and it very well could have been just from one part of Somalia, granted, was almost exactly Ethiopian food, only with pasta on the side. And the pasta is, from the Italians. As I said, there was the Italians kind of had part of Somalia under their jurisdiction for a time, and so their culinary influence remains. So there's that. Okay, I'm very tired. I literally just came back. I did my 10 miles, jumped in the shower, and then I turned on the camera to do this. So I'm still very dehydrated. So if you see me fall and bump my head, call the police. Okay. That would be awkward, wouldn't it? Okay. And I know I'm being slow, but at this point I don't really care. Because it's going to be an issue about me finishing too early this time, rather than too late, because the husband is like in the air right now, quite literally, on his way back home. So yay, I won't be alone. Won't be just me and the cat for a while. Blah 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 blah. But yes, the Somali food was very, very good. One of the dishes that is my favorite, Ethiopian, which apparently you can also get in Somalia, was a wat, W-O-T. Like say what? I love Doro wat. That's like my favorite thing. I've promised some acquaintances who happen to have lived somewhere with Ethiopian food and loved it very much that I would have them over and cook for them, and they said, "Oh, I'll be your prep cook for you, and people can watch me." And I'm like, "Wow, that's something." I offered him to come over for Somalia, but the days of the week didn't work out. So, alas. How's everybody doing, by the way? Just sitting here yakking away while I make mincemeat out of, quite literally, out of sirloin tips. I didn't know what cut to get. I wanted something thin because I know I had to cut it very small. And so this is what I saw. The recipe initially called for about 2 pounds, so I just decided to cut it in half and do 1 pound. So that's what I'm doing. There's just some vegetables in this. Also, there's an interesting, I don't know, this website that, I combined this from a number of sources, but this one website, what are they calling it? I can't pronounce it. Zawash, X-A-W-A-A-S-H, Zawash, if that's how you pronounce it. Name of the website, one website, that's the name of one website that has many Somali recipes. The thing is that, the recipes are written by a Somali person. I don't know how many of them are ethnically Somali, because in a lot of these websites I found recipes that are obviously not, that I guess it's just a Somali person who says, listen, these are recipes that I've made. Some of them are, back home recipes. Some of these are, U.S. recipes or whatever. So, it gets confusing. Hi, sirloin again, Cliffy. Other joints are available. I guess so. But like I said, the husband, when it comes to beef, he gets, unhappy if it's, chewy at all, number one. When I make stews, I get stew beef, which is, a lesser cut. But this, I only needed 1 pound. When I went to the grocery store today, I only bought the meat and an onion. That's all I had to buy. Everything else I already had. Normally I'd have onions too, so it wasn't that big a deal. But like I said, these were cut thin already. So, oh, by the way, the dish on Sunday came out quite well. The salad was very nice. I think we'll have some of that because I still have some left over. So I'll have that, maybe, with this. And I actually do still have some leftovers. I had leftovers of Sunday for dinner last night, since I was like, bachelor boy. I was up insanely late. It tasted quite good. It was very good. It was very spicy in a flavorful way, not spicy in a hot way. And my guest enjoyed it very much. It was a humble dish. The presentation was just, meat on a plate. If I had a brain, I would have dressed it up with some, cilantro or something, but I didn't think about that. But the salad was quite good, and I still have left over. But that was just, a salad. The only thing that made it different in any way was the fact that I had the green tomatoes as opposed to ripe tomatoes in it. But it was good. What does sirloin cost per pound in the U.S.? These sirloin tips were about $7 for about a pound. That's how much they cost. I don't know how things are in Scotland. The one thing I do know about the food and the U.S. in general is, and people in the U.S. aren't really aware of this, is that people pay less for food in the U.S. than in just about any other country in the whole wide world. They spend less of their income on food than anywhere else in the whole wide world, as a percentage. And that's for a million reasons, geopolitical and otherwise. Hey, Martina, how you doing? Thank you for liking the restream. That's an amazingly good value. Yep. Interesting thing, if you did not know, I am in Jupiter, Florida, which is on the east coast of Florida, about an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Miami, an hour north of Fort Lauderdale, and about, if you know where, Orlando Disney World is, that's about 2.5 hours to the northwest from here. The reason I mentioned that, a little Florida trivia for you. When you think of cowboys, always welcome, thank you. When you think of cowboys in the U.S., what state do you probably think of? You probably think of Texas, maybe, or, somewhere like Montana or something like that. And if I were to say what state has the largest cattle ranches in the whole U.S. of A., you would probably guess Texas, because, Texas means beef. However, not only is Florida actually where the largest cattle ranch is in the U.S. of A., it is also the state that first saw cowboys in what is now the USA. In that, well before anything Texas, U.S. happened, the Spanish had come to Florida, and the Spanish had their vaqueros, their cowboys, and they would ranch, they would herd cattle, but they wouldn't do it the way you normally think of it, with a lasso and all that. What they would do is they would have a whip, and they would just go and whip the cattle, around, and that was, so they were the first cowboys in the U.S., and the first cattle ranches were in Florida, and they remain in Florida. In fact, Disney World used to be a large grazing pasture for cows, and within a 15-minute drive of the Magic Kingdom, you can see cows. Most people when they're driving around are quite surprised to see that. However, like I said, the ranching methods are quite different. And many of the ranchers still use the old whip as opposed to lariat way of, herding their cattle. And I'm wondering if anyone's going to catch the linguistic thing about that, since we're talking about beef, is that in Florida, these cowboys that use their whips, watch me whip. Oh, I'm sorry, actually, that's okay. But the thing about that is that they would crack the whip. Ergo, original Florida settlers, white settlers, were called crackers. And that's actually where the term, which is considered a derogatory term elsewhere, is considered not a derogatory term. In Florida, you'll find people referring to old sort of, clapboard houses as that's a cracker house, and that's like the official term for it, because of the whip, and on the cattle, not on people. So, that's partially why meat not so expensive here in Florida. Long way of getting to that. Okay, and next, so meanwhile, we're going to peel and slice an onion. Onion! My one onion that I had to buy. Lonely, lonely onion. Watch me whip. Watch me nanny. Oh, we moved on to... It was really hard finding Somali music that I didn't play on Sunday. But this has got the little Somali flag right on it. So, it better be... Didn't have time to go investigate specific artists. Who's it? Iman. Iman? Yes, Iman is Somali. The supermodel Iman, married to David Bowie. Somali superstar. So peeling the onion. So yes, I did my 10 miles just now. Still dizzy. and handling a knife. And I did the last 5 miles in a pouring rainstorm too, which was actually kind of refreshing. Although, except, you know, when running here and the rain, I'm like, yay, rain! All of a sudden, here, crash, thunder, lightning, and I'm like, don't die. I don't want to die. People are counting to watch me cook. I can't be dead. The electrified Cliffy. Cliffy goes electric. I cannot say when my contacts I can't see from a distance. Go Dume. Brazilian Soul Crew, but it's got the Somali flag on it. So, I'm not making it up. Okay, so chop in the onion. And I think it was Jürgen who gave me the good obvious tip of using the small knife for the first cuts on the onion. So thank you again for that good obvious tip. Jacques Pepin, the super French chef, he was on, I saw a video of him on some radio show somewhere, and he was showing how, oh yes, in culinary school you're taught to chop an onion like this, and he goes, and I like to do it like this, and this way it kind of disintegrates and perfectly, and it's very small dice, and I was like, wow, that's amazing, I wish I could do that. So this is my lame attempt to try to, you know, in my simple little way to accomplish that. And again, it's really weird. I don't ever get, you know, onion teary kind of thing. I did, you know, whenever I tried to chop an onion before, but I've just become immune. I'm most surprised how onions do not affect your eyes. I wish I could do that. My friend is Somali. She's one of the most naturally beautiful women I've ever met. Yes, very, very beautiful people. Yes. I mean, when I lived in Columbus, the Somali population wasn't really nearby where I lived, although there was a church on the corner. And it was a church, it wasn't a mosque. That seemed to have a Somali population that was interesting, because Somalia is a Muslim nation, so I don't know exactly what the deal was. I know that historically speaking, they're Jews that historically were, and to some small extent still are, in Somalia. Many of I know the Ethiopian Jews have been resettled in Israel, but there are Somali Jews, and that apparently in the Bible it talks about the ancient land of Puntland, which is, you know, right there on the Horn of Africa. So there's a lot of biblical references for many centuries. It was just a whole list of sultanates that ruled the place. So, a long, long history, well before it got, you know, really sad. When you investigate, like, the history of various African nations, when you go back far enough, it really kind of blows your mind that just even the geography of places has changed. Like the Sahara Desert wasn't, you know, the borders of the Sahara Desert weren't always the way they are now. Like a country like Mali had the Mali Kingdom, which was like one of the largest empires on earth. And Mali wasn't a dry desert. They, you know, there was culture and literature. There was, you know, Timbuktu, which you've heard of. It was, you know, to a degree, you know, a center of knowledge. And then a lot of stuff happened, including the desert kind of swallowing up things. And then things, you know, change over many, many centuries. So I really wish they would teach, you know, more of the history of other countries, and particularly Africa, in U.S. schools, because I didn't know a damn thing about it. And I just went seeking it out because I was mad that I never learned any of it. So, for instance, the scramble for Africa is something that, you know, I never learned, but didn't realize, because when, you know, in the Western Hemisphere you learn about the colonies and the different countries, England and France and Spain and Portugal taking, the colonies in the Western Hemisphere, and you have kind of a general time frame for that. And so, being Americentric, at least I kind of just assumed that was, in terms of colonies and the rest of the world, they operated on more or less the same timetable. And they didn't. I mean, Europeans went to various parts of Africa and they set up, trading posts along the coast and, traded in slaves and other goods. No, slaves and goods. Slaves were people, not goods. They treated them as goods, and that was wrong. And the Arabs went in and traded slaves mostly from the east coast of Africa, which again I did not know. But it wasn't until like the late 1800s that there was the scramble for Africa, and the European nations just kind of sat down and carved up the continent and said, this one's for you, this one's for me, this one's for you, this one's for me. Which I had no idea. But Somalia, Ethiopia was the only one that officially never was colonized by anyone. The Italians got them for like about 10 minutes during one of the wars. But Liberia was its own thing. But Somalia held out very long, and they almost, were the last until the Italians kind of, claimed the southern part. And then the British were trying to get inland. They had the coastland, but the Dervish people controlled the interior, and they held back the British for a good time until 1920, when the British came in with airplanes, and that's kind of all she wrote. But a proud people. Okay, so now that we have our story time as we chop our onion, now we get to an interesting bit here, because this recipe calls for this recipe from this site, and I don't know if she named her site for the spice mix or the spice mix for her site. I don't know if she invented the spice mix or it's just a variation on something traditional, but it's called Xawaash, so I'm going to go with Zawash. And it's a spice mix, and the recipe calls for making like 2 cups of it, which is nuts, because I would never use that much. You'd keep it in a jar, and then you'd use it over X period of time. But I'm not making that much Somali food on the regular, so I've done a lot of math to try to get this down to, a reasonable amount of things. So hopefully my numbers are not way, way off. So here we go. We're going to start with cumin seeds. Cumin seeds. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Cinnamon, no. Cumin, yes. Okay, cumin seeds. So my math says that I am using 1 teaspoon of the cumin seeds. If I can open up the little Badia package. It's like housey. But it's got the Somali flag on it. I'm not making that up. Okay. So going with, whoa, I can smell that. 1 teaspoon teaspoon of the cumin seeds. Now, since they're all going to get mixed up, I'm, mixing them up now. I'm not putting them in separate thingies. Okay. You stay right there. Comino en grano. Cumin. Okay. Cumin coming right up. Alrighty, next we're going with 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds. Coriander is, in case you did not know, is the same thing as cilantro, except it's the seeds and not the leaves, which is a different thing. Coriander. Do I have whole coriander is the question. If I don't, that's okay. It's going to get ground up anyway. Cinnamon. No. Coriander. Do I have whole coriander? Don't think I do. No. It's going to be ground. which is okay. So a teaspoon of this, of the coriander seeds, or in this case ground. It's all gonna get ground up anyway. If I had whole, I would use whole. It's funny that it used to be that I only had whole and not seeds, and now it's the other way around. Okay. So, spice number 2. And again, whoa, I can smell that. A quarter teaspoon of black peppercorns. So, where did I put my black peppercorns? They are hiding behind somewhere. Ah, yes, I found them. Okay, so going with, whoa, look at that, almost done. Quarter teaspoon. I had to do so much math. You have no idea. Okay. Because I really only need a couple tablespoons of this at the end. I didn't want, I mean, you can't see, but I have like a million spice mixes sitting back in there that I need to find a use for. They're all really delicious, and I don't want them to go bad. I keep saying to the husband, I says, you know, you get a little, on Wednesdays we have pizza. So get the little, you know, dough thing and throw stuff on there and, you know, grab one spice mix and go nuts. Okay, here's the part that I'm not sure. It's an 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon bark. And, I don't think that's gonna work. This is technically Somali. It's called Somali. I'm not enjoying the sound, but I think I'm gonna go with ground cinnamon because I don't see a way to, you know. So I guess it's saying Somali pirates. That's weird. How much longer is that gonna go on? You can make that go away. You can go away. You're annoying. Bye-bye. Meanwhile, okay, so an 1/8 teaspoon of, in this case, ground cinnamon, because I can't figure out how to get an 1/8 teaspoon of a stick of cinnamon. That's too tall an order from moi. So, this is also called Somali, whatever it is. Okay. Rugga. Focus! Thank you. Okay, cinnamon, and then an 1/8 teaspoon of cardamom pods, and I have green cardamom pods. I don't know about 1/8 teaspoon, but we'll wing it. So green cardamom that I'll never get through all those. So an 1/8 teaspoon is going to be, I'm guessing, about 2. Yeah, I say 2. Oh, that's so fragrant. I wish you could smell this. Okay. So our green cardamom pods going in. Here, like that. In you go. And whole cloves. So you'll notice that the spices, you got a lot of spices going. They're not hot spices, but they're very fragrant and tasty spices. And a lot of that influence comes from the Arabian Peninsula and from India, because they're on the other side of the Indian Ocean. So you'll notice that flavors kind of travel. And wherever people, you know, went, they left behind traces in the food. So, we got the whole cloves there, and we have one last thing to add to that, and that is a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Or maybe it's pronounced turmeric, because it's got a U-R in it. Every time I go to type it, I always get it. I always have to make sure that I'm typing it right, because I always screw it up. Turmeric makes everything orange. You'll remember on Sunday when we made our dish, the actual recipe, one recipe I saw was calling for saffron mixed in warm milk, and I didn't have saffron, and I used the instruction for the other recipe that said to use turmeric. So common in Indian cooking, particularly. And from what I understand, a vegan's best friend, turmeric. I have vegan friends who go through it by, like, you know, the vat. Okay, so we have all our spices all in the bowl right there. And now we're going to roast them briefly. And then we're going to grind them. And then hopefully I'll have the right amount. So I'm going to get me an itty bitty saute pan. And put that on like a medium heat. And the key to roasting spices, from what I understand, is that you don't want to burn them. You just want to toast them. And normally I am told that takes just, sometimes I read things that says, oh, just a minute. And the other says, you know, like, go up to like 5 minutes or something, which sounds weird. So I'm not really sure. But we're going to find out. I'm not really done with that knife, but we're going to put you on the saute pan. Dance into the fire. Okay, how about you? Okay, so here's our pan. Here are spices. We're going to try to get you angled there while that warms up a little bit. Camera. Okay, so we're gonna put these. Never seems to get warm fast enough. I know there's a whole thing about not warming up a non-stick pan with that oil in it, but the ceramic one I gather is different. I hope for my sake and the world's that is true. Okay, roasting, go. Let me get something. Get you out of there. This, like I said, I ratcheted this down from something that would, you know, create like a whole, like 2 cups of the spice mix to something that would, you know, get me just about 2 tablespoons or a tablespoon's worth. So that's what we got. So, and now what we're listening to. This is also called Somali. I did not know there's many jazz songs named Somalia for some reason. I'm assuming it's because there are a lot of Somali people that are jazz artists. Okay. Waiting for it to get toasty. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? This is, like I said, the second night of Somalia. If you see me taking pictures, it's because it's for the blog at cliffyland.com, where you'll find pictures of everything, links to the original recipes, reviews of how it went, links to these videos that right here, in case there's something you missed. And you can find that at cliffyland.com. You can find links to it at Twitter, from Twitter, if you follow cliffyland.com, or at Tumblr, Instagram, Pinterest, or Facebook, like our Facebook page, or follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, that's the magic word, subscribe on YouTube. Sparkles Pancake, hello there, thank you, how you doing? Yay. To you. Okay, this is becoming fragrant. Don't want it to burn, but I do want it to toast. I can never really tell when that happens. Now I think I can tell. Okay, so time's up. It just started to smoke a little bit, so I declared that was it. So we're getting you out of here, back in bowl. I need to see that movie again. Does anybody know the movie? I always keep referencing it. Buck and bowl. Buck and bowl? Okay. So now that we're here, hey Yolanda, how you doing? Thank you for the restream. So we are now we have our $27 per pound in Scotland. Yowza, that's crackers. That's nutsy cuckoo. Wow. Yeah, expensivo. Now let me ask you, in Scotland, do you eat like a lot more lamb? Something tells me that might be the case, but maybe I'm just out of my mind. Okay, so we've got the roasted spices, and now enter the spice grinder. Easy. And I'm going to move you over so you can see. You're listening to Personal Song by Somali Woman. Okay, so into here, and our lovely spice mix, which is quite fragrant already, going in. Like I said, I ratcheted this down from the one that said to make a lot, and it was saying do it in batches. And I was thinking, yeah, if you're making 2 cups, you're going to have to do it in batches. Thankfully, I didn't have to do that, because I could do math. I hope that worked. And then there's another thing, which is coming next. I could just smell spice mixes all day. Lamb, chicken, and pork. Yep, that's kind of what I thought. The whole thing with the haggis and the sheep stomach, is it? So here's our ground up spice mix, right there. And I'm going to use this whole thing, because I think my math, I think that's my math. I think it was supposed to be 2 tablespoons, and I think that's what it worked out to, 2 tablespoons of this. So, bingo. So let me clean this off real quick. I'm sorry if I'm going a little slow, but screenshot. Yeah, screenshot. Spice mix. I hope you got it. Okay. Okay. Okay, be right with ya. Be right with ya. How we doing? How we doing? Like I said, the cook on this is kind of ridiculously fast. And the husband is still in the air. So it's time to stretch. Thank you. So that's very sweet of you. Thank you, Yolanda. Okay, so here's the thing. The recipe called for, in addition to this spice mix, chia, that we just made, which either is a traditional recipe for the spice mix or something that the recipe author created. It said to use a certain amount of vegetable seasoning. And vegetable seasoning is a kind of an amorphous term for me. So, kind of having a general idea as to what that might entail, I have a vegetable seasoning, which is not Somali in any way, shape, or form. However, I have it, and I have a good, decent guess that some of the magic ingredients that she was looking for in her vegetable seasoning are things that are in this, which is called vegeta. Vegeta I first encountered when I cooked Croatia, so it's way back in the seas. But I keep talking about how cool this is. It's an all-purpose seasoning. It is very popular in the Balkans, in Croatia, in Serbia, in Bosnia, in Bulgaria, and Romania. People are crazy for vegeta. They live for it, apparently. When I went shopping for it way back then, I was in the butcher store, in the butcher shop, which is, you know, about half hour from here. And they seem to have a lot of Eastern European people. There's a lot of stuff in Cyrillic, on the walls. And I said, listen, I'm looking for this thing. I don't know what it's called. It's Vegeta. And the butcher was like, and then this lady on my side of the counter said, oh, right here. And she grabs me and drags me over to the counter and goes, this right here, take it. It's really good. You have to have it. And there's recipes for all sorts of stuff for this European vegetable seasoning, all up in here, which would use it. It has dried onions and celery and dried carrots and MSG. And if you've been around me long enough, you know that I am preaching the gospel of MSG. Like all the stuff that, I grew up listening, like, oh, it gives you headaches and da-da-da. No, it doesn't. It's just an umami flavor that which is really great. That is, you have your sweet, salty, bitter, sour, and umami. It's the fifth flavor. It's like what you get in fermented, whatever. You've had it all your life. It's in mother's milk. Same basic concept. But that is the vegetable seasoning, and I chose to use the Vegeta, which is not Somali, but it probably has the same stuff that she was looking for. So there you have it. Hey, Lavender Femchi, how you doing? Good seeing you. Thanks for coming by. Okay, so now that we have some of our stuff set aside, and me, stretching here, because again, this cooks very fast, and it won't be here for at least an hour. So I am being chill. On Sunday you saw me freaked out. Today you see me chill and tired, because I did my 10-mile run just before coming online. So I ran half of the time in a thunderstorm, which was scary. I didn't want to have to get up at 4 in the morning to run, because now with the time change, like the sun goes up even earlier. And it's impossibly hot here. I'm so sick of this heat in Florida. When will it end? Oh, I'm so tired. Okay, so a couple bit more things to prep here. We're going to peel and slice a potato. And I'm going to put it in water, because it's going to sit there for a while. I don't know which one to get. I have some sitting here. And they haven't been sitting here for too long, but when I buy them, I hate buying them in the bags, because you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know quite how old they are. You can't examine them. It's like mystery meat. So, like, last time I bought a bag, by the time I got to the bottom of it, they were all bad. So, this seems okay. Okay, so 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato more. I can't remember how that goes. My mother said to pick the very best, and I choose you. Okay. I'm going to clean it, and then I'm going to peel it, and then I'm going to dice it, and then I'm going to stick it in a bowl of water. Sammy, thank you for the like. Sam Smith, oh. Thank you for the like. Okay, so we're going to clean it and scrub it, and then we're going to dice it. And then we're going to move on. There are a number of different recipes for this I've seen. Some of them involve green pepper or red pepper, usually green pepper. This recipe did not, so I did not use it. So that. Okay. So, peeling. Okay, again, like I said, I cut this recipe in half. And it did not say what kind of potato either. So it's potatoes and carrots and beef and all that lovely seasoning is going to go into it. And then it boils and simmers, but the key apparently is the very, very small dice on the beef. And the recipe even suggested that one could have the butcher chop it small for you. The meat department in my closest grocery store, not the friendliest people behind that particular counter. So I don't like asking them to have to do stuff because they make faces. I think they see me coming. They'll go, God, him again. Wants me to break a package of me. I know it's our policy to do it, but I don't have to like it. Grumble, grumble, grumble. So, and I can say that I used to be on the other side of the customer service counter, so. But some people just generally hate life. Okay, so we've got our potato, and I'm going to dice the potato. I'm going to put some water in here. Keep it from turning brown. That's all life hack there. This is your religious singing Somali bonga something. I have very lousy eyesight when I have my contacts in. Okay. Trash is here. So, bit dicing, eh? Again, we're going for a small dice, just like on the meat, I'm assuming. That's what I gather from the few different recipes for this that I found. I was saying I found one recipe for it, which was a little odd, and the woman, it was a video, and the woman doing it was, I don't want to assume things, but I just guess that she's married to a Somali, because she looked like, about as, Great Lakes as it can get. I don't know if she was from Wisconsin or whatever, but... Oh, probably Minnesota. That would make sense. Yeah, probably from Minnesota. Because she had all the flat A's. And I just hear that accent. When I used to live in Ohio, when I drive north of Cleveland, it'd be like, I'd be in a restaurant, and at the end of the meal, I just would brace myself for it. At the end of the meal, the server would come up and say, "Would you like a box?" Like, yeah, it's like fingernails on the chalkboard for me. Regional accents. I don't know. I don't know. I have weird reactions to regional accents. Which means every accent. Which means everybody in the world. I hate everybody. I mean, I have a Miami accent. I don't have the ultimate Miami accent, but I know I have a Miami accent. In case you're wondering. This is what it sounds like. My husband is on a work thing, and he was with somebody from Miami, and he was saying, "Oh my God, this guy, I was hearing him talk, and he's got the Miami accent. That's crazy." And he was trying to, describe it, and I go, "It's very hard to describe." But it's, no matter what your ethnicity is, it's a little bit of everything. So it's a little Cuban, where, to quote this YouTube person who perfectly encapsulated the Cuban accent, said it's like your tongue's hanging out in the back of your mouth, just like, I can't do it. And then it's a little Southern, believe it or not, so there's y'alls in there. And it's a little New York, with, hints of Yiddish. And it's constantly changing. And it has, Miami has its own words. But if someone say, "Listen, man," it's M-A-N-G. "Listen, man." So, we got our diced potato. So I'm just sitting here babbling while I cook. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, we're going to move on to carrot. We're going to peel and dice a carrot over here. This is something Somali. It has Somali in the title. Oh yes, I do have carrots. So leftover carrots. Maybe I'll go through these before they go bad too. How about you? You'll do. So, like I said, I have the recipe. So, I should wash this first. It came out of the ground. Even if I'm peeling it. So, meanwhile, today I haven't really had much of a chance to look at, but I got an email from Meerkat people today, which is very nice. They want to feature me on their Friday Fabulous Thingamabob. So I gotta take a really nice, high-quality picture that they can use. So should I try? I don't even, I have never done on the poll things. I don't even really know exactly how it works. Oh, I guess I have to type. But if I take the high quality picture, should I wear the black apron or the yellow apron? I'm thinking the yellow apron, but other people saying they like the black one better. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Ugh. I gotta get my car fixed tomorrow too. Okay, so we got our carrots. Now I'm going to dice our carrots. I am so alone. I used up all my Somali trivia on Sunday. Oh my god, I do not care for this. Oh my god, and I got a whole album's worth of this. That was a bad choice. Bad choice. Bad choice. Where's my iPad? Ugh! That's a bad choice of sound. Okay. We need to skip you. We need to skip you. You're loud. We no care for you. Who is this? Somali Yacht Club. In case you're wondering. Because we're making them go away. Skipping Somali Yacht Club. Are all the songs like this? Well, we're going to find out. Okay. Everyone's so quiet. My god. Now that's not even going at all. Okay, how about you? Play. Play, my pretties. Okay. Back to something a little more traditionally Somali. Not just the word Somali in the title. You find all these... When I look at these countries and look up their music, it's weird that, you're going like, oh, like random country, and they have, like, an extensive death metal culture. I'm thinking, really? Who knew? There was a country I did recently. I was really surprised. It's like a whole series of entries for all their death metal. No, I don't need to hear that. If you like death metal, it's good, Just doesn't work really well for background music. Okay, so we've sort of diced our carrot in uneven dice. But, c'est la vie. This is Wabiri. Rogosho. Changing. Okay, so now that we have our carrots, and just a couple more things to do here. Like I said, it's a really fast cook, more or less. Oh, hello, Meerkat. How are you? Weren't you in Australia? If you are, good morning, I think. Okay, diced carrots. Now we're going to get our garlic cloves going. I'll wash my hands. Get orange off. Okay, the plane should be landing about now. This is really weird. I started cooking, he's in one place, and by the time I finish cooking, he's sitting down to dinner here. That's the plan. Unless I wind up finishing it and going, that's what it looks like, now I'm going to keep it warm, and you guys, can enjoy the rest of your evening. Garlic cloves, two of them, 1, 2. I've got that. Okay, garlic cloves here. Talk to me, people. What's happening? What's happening in Meerkat World? I've not been able to be on for like pretty much the last week entirely. So I haven't seen Lydia's thing in the morning. It's always my first thing in the morning, which I miss. I miss seeing the regular people. Nah, these are not big enough clothes. Here, those two. Okay. You'll do. I think the rest is gonna go. Yeah. Okay. Hey, yeah, Cliffy, I am watching while I wash up. Ah, goodness. Yeah, that's what I do. I wake up in the morning, here, my time, and I turn on Lydia's stream, and I'm watching while, you know, I put myself together in the morning. It's a good thing she doesn't say cameo time. Everyone would be in for a surprise. Surprise! There's a young, you know, when I started on Meerkat, the person who kind of got me into it, oddly enough, was in Australia. There weren't very many people on. This way back in, what, March or something? And I haven't seen him on since. But I follow him on Facebook. He's a trumpet player in I think in Sydney. He was just like, oh, I'm taking requests on trumpet. And I said, really? So I just said, play Jesse's Girl. I was like, okay, here goes. And then I said, oh, that's crazy. Play Timey Kangaroo Down Sport. And then he started, I know about Rolf Harris and his drama. He's like, oh, did you know the guy who wrote that song is in trouble? I'm like, yes, I know. I was trying to think of any Australian songs I could think of. I haven't been on either. Lots of streams on today. Well, that's good. More people on is better. Somebody said, That didn't fall on the floor. It did not. If you don't believe me, I'm going to wash it off anyway. Okay. 2, 3. But anyway, yeah, he was a nice guy, and I would watch him every now and then, and, you know, just, I'm cooking love. Oh, or you're cooking love. Hey, videos, just talking about you. I was saying I haven't been able to be on your stream because my schedule this week has been bananas, and I just, you know, by the time I got up, I'm like, oh, is she still on? Oh, no, it's over. But it's just been so weird, the husband being gone and us traveling, and so things should be coming back to normal for me for a little bit, at least until Thanksgiving, and then things go wiggy again. It's like, yeah, then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then New Year's, and it's like, I remember being a kid and going, oh, can't get here soon enough, it takes forever. When will Christmas ever get here? And now it's like, oh my god, was that again? Already? Jeez. I'm gonna need to buy a tree, too. We always used to get real trees where we used to live. I could literally go across the street and walk back home with one. A live tree. But once we moved to Ohio, that didn't work, and we got like a real, like, fancy artificial one, and that, you know, sort of died, if that can happen. And so now we need a new one, and I need to have it up in time for my party. I always have a party. Lydia, my love, so good seeing you. In fact, my guest who is here, my camera shy guest who is here on Sunday, after I turned off the cameras, and he was like, is it safe to go in the kitchen? And then he looked at the camera stand. He's like, that doesn't have a camera on it, does it? I was thinking, are you hiding from the FBI or something? But I explained to him Meerkat and stuff, and I was telling him about Lydia. I said, really lovely, and, you know, in the morning, and and, you know, so who knows, maybe he'll download the app. He won't be so scared. So there's our garlic, and is that it? Is that it? Is that it? It's it. It's it. Oh, good, he landed. Yay, so now, if he landed, he'd be here like in 45 minutes. So, I think we are doing okay time-wise then, because we're going to start cooking after all this time. Let me wash this, and then we'll start cooking. I love to hear you say Christmas. I don't like that happy holiday thing. It's, you know, I don't really give a crap, to be honest. I mean, for me, you know, if Christmas is I don't know. I don't want to get into politics. I don't want to get into politics. No, not getting into it. Okay. Anywho, I called you love. Yes, I know. That's very sweet. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get going here. This is gonna go into. I'm looking at the volume of stuff. I'm thinking a saucepan, a medium saucepan. So let's get everything over here. Alrighty. And DVD. Okay. And whoop-a-doo. And saucepan. So heating up this and some. Oh, I think I need the cover for that. This is gonna be like a half hour where we're just gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do to entertain ourselves for a half hour. But meanwhile, this is supposed to be on, what kind of heat? Medium heat, allegedly. So, canola oil into here. And again, sorry about the white balance thing. It'll work itself out once color starts happening in here. I don't like the fact that this is, I mean, look at that. No, it's the pot. It's not flat on the bottom. I know that's a thing. I know that's an actual problem. But, you know, someday I'll have a gas stove. Oh, our friends, we were in Disney World, and we were visiting some friends while we were there, and they just got a new house. And like, oh, you'll love to hear this. We have a gas stove. I'm like, I want. I mean, I never used to know or care. In fact, I just imagined, you know, you'd blow up and die. Or I'd likely do that, being the mess that I am. 1 tablespoon. I'm going to guess 2. 2 tablespoons. And the music stopped. What happened to the music? Where did you go? Next song, maybe? Can we do it? Can we? Yay, okay. So, heating up the oil in the saucepan to medium heat on this electric stove that I've always blamed for all my troubles. And now I know that the reason it acts the way it acts is because I'm using non-stick and not like a cast iron or some odd thing. So I've had to adjust the numbers and what equals medium and medium hot on this still, I declare, wonky stove. Oh, by the way, I need boiling water, so I need to boil some water too. Okay, lid on the pot, the tea kettle rather. So you go on high back there. How are we doing over here? Are we hot enough? Okay. Bingo. Onions and then garlic. Okay. So starting with the onions and then our garlic. And then I'm going to need a spatula for you, mister. And something to drain the potatoes from the water. We'll get the baby colander. Hello, I'm the baby. Oh my god, I said, I know, like I have only 1 or 2 Snapchat friends. If you're on Snapchat, you know, direct message me, and I will be your Snapchat buddy. No, we were in Disney. We saw the Osborne family Christmas lights, which is beautiful. It's a big, you know, big display that apparently in Arkansas. Hey, Mayor, how you doing? Good seeing you. in Arkansas in the 80s. What's cooking tonight? We're making two things. Right now we're working on the Suqaar, which is beef cubes with vegetables. And then we're going to be making the bread, the Lahooh, which is like injera bread. It's like a soft, like sourdough kind of bread, which is made with a batter. The Ethiopian version is injera, and that's usually like a large, like that. And then, but the Lahooh is like smaller size, which is in the Ethiopian restaurants kind of what you get in your hand. So, that's that. Okay, this is officially warm enough, so I think we can go to take a picture. Photograph for the millionth time. Yay! Exclamation point. Send. Send. Okay. Picture. Okay. Oh, that's somebody. Hello. Okay. Okay, the 1,000,001th picture of onions going into a pot. Because I don't have enough of those. I could just reuse. I should just have like a go-to picture. I put first I heated up some oil and I threw the onions in the pot, and then I should have a template. And I stirred until soft, and then I mixed in the garlic. And then when that was all soft, catch. Yes. It's I have all my stuff automatically catched, by the way, too. So not only that you can see it on the catch, whatever. But I also post them from my page at cliffyland.com. If you go to the bottom, you'll see videos, and then that will link you to the catch and to the YouTube page of the same video. The catch has like your stuff on the side somewhere. If you're wondering why I'm talking to myself, and the YouTube doesn't. So on the YouTube, I'm just talking to myself, and no one knows why I'm talking to myself. But I'm actually getting people watching on YouTube now. I went from like 0 people to not 0 people. So, no one's sticking around for watch 2 hours. Here is one we prepared earlier. I think I'm getting more or less what you're referring to. Cooking show. Like, here's one prepared earlier. So you don't have to sit around and wait. Oh, the onions. Yes, I get it. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, where am I? The onions. Diced garlic goes in next. Okay. Get in there. But anyway, the display, it was a family in Arkansas, and they had the big holiday display because the little girl wanted a big display, and she said, "Daddy, make me a display," and it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and took up the entire neighborhood, and people started driving for miles around to come see this like insane light display, and then finally the neighbors said, we've kind of had enough, and they sued, and they went to court, and they said, yeah, you have to stop it. And so Disney had its sort of back lot at the time, where they had the facades of like the Golden Girls house and a New York street and all that business, and they said, hey, we'll take it. So they put it up every year, and it's there, and it used to be much bigger. But it's got music and lights and rotating things and fake snow coming down and 90-degree temperatures. And it's crazy. And it's beautiful. And this is the very last year for it. Because that whole area is being torn down to build the Star Wars land, which is going to be there. So it was nice to see it one last time. But they've got, everything. They've got hidden Mickeys. They've got like a whole big Hanukkah thing. They've got, all this hidden jokes on Disney stuff. They have the I'm the baby dinosaur from Dinosaurs in the Window. And they have the Mr. Gold's pawn shop from Once Upon a Time on the street. And it's really cute. And it's beautiful. And it's lovely. And I finally got to see it again. I might see it one more time before the year's up. Okay, here we go for our spice mixes. We're going to add our vegeta, our vegetable mix, right here. And our Zawash, X-A-W-A-A-S-H, or Zawash spice mix. To make it all odoriferous. In a good way. And I'm going to stir it for about a minute. The smell. This is the smell. If you've ever had Somali food, or Ethiopian food, or Eritrean food, or food from Djibouti, anything from that whole region, this is the smell you're going for. Delicious, delicious. Okay, so after about a minute of this, and we're gonna put in our meat, our beef. Am I right on this? Okay, let me make sure I got this all right. Yes, I do. Okay. We're gonna have a lot of time to kill people, so do something. Find something entertaining to do, because this is gonna have to cook for half an hour. And I don't really feel like starting in on the bread just yet, because then they'll be sitting there. Well, I could. I mean, I could get going on that. That way, if I like screw up a few, by the time I get to the last ones, they'll be okay. I can keep them warm in the turned off oven. So maybe that's an idea. Who knows? Or I could just use the time to clean. Okay, beef in. Alrighty. So we're going to stir you up really quick. And brown it. Didn't say anything about browning, but there's one thing I know. I'm making... My eyes are really bad. Placenta, maybe you mean polenta. Chickpeas and Swiss chard with onions and garlic. Good. That sounds delicious. That sounds yummy. Chickpeas. Ooh, you know what? If you have chickpeas, you can make or you can buy chickpea flour, garbanzo bean flour. Look up my post for, I think it was Macedonia. Just go to the blog at closelyland.com. I think it was either Macedonia or Montenegro, one of the two. But their one of their big things is sort of like I can't explain it, like a crepe. It's sort of like a crepe, which is basically made with flour, a batter made from chickpea flour. You get your oven raging hot, like the hottest hot, and then put it in the skillet in there, and somehow and it's like 2 ingredients with chickpeas, and it's super, super, super delicious. I've been meaning to make it again, and I haven't, which I should. Okay, now again, this recipe didn't say about browning the meat, but I've learned, a thing or two in this whole process. So, so I'm gonna wait here to let this brown before I put my water in it. To sort of sear the meat a bit. Sort of, kinda. Trying to get them seared. Okay, that looks good. That looks very good. I'm looking it up in the countries. Yes. I do a thing when I have to, when my brain goes wiggy. I just go to Google and I do site : and then I do my own site, cliffdvr@.tumblr.com or whatever, and then I put in chickpea or garbanzo, and then I go, oh, that's the one I did it with. Okay. Because I always am referencing in my blog, oh, like the time I did da-da-da, and I have to look up to remember which country it was. They all blend together after 159. Next week will be 160. We'll be getting closer to the end. Yes, dear first. Okay, so boiling water. Water was boiling. A cup. I'm doing this behind you. I'm pouring boiling water behind your back. It's 1 cup. 1 cup. 1 cup. 1 cup of boiling water. Ooh, hot water. Okay. Ta-da! So then we're going to stir this well and then cover it and cook it for 30 minutes. Dead battery. Ooh, dear, that's not good. Yeah, you gotta plug in. Plug in. Plug it in, plug it in. Okay. Cover. Simmer. Simadana. 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 Who's this? Donna Summer. Reverse it. Summer Donna. Yes, that's it. Samadana. 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 Okay. Now we have half an hour. We have half an hour for that to sit there. And then it's going to be 15 minutes with the potatoes and carrots, and then it's going to be done. Which brings us to half an hour is 8:15, 15 minutes is 8:30. So he should be home by then. So that means I have 45 minutes to do something that takes 5 minutes. See, that's what I'm worried about. That is what I'm worried about. So entertain me, people, while we listen to Somali music. Because I'm going to wash some dishes while I wait. Because the batter has been fermenting in the stove, the turned off stove. Normally, like I said, that would be in there for like, you know, like in a warm place for about 2 days to get a starter, like a sourdough starter, which I would not have known what the hell that was, you know, even a year ago. But since I didn't have that time, and I found a recipe that didn't call for that. My friend, my shy friend, suggested the turned-off oven thing for the conundrum of trying to, you know, quasi-ferment the batter. But so then they get put in a 1/4 cup at a time. I don't know how many they're going to be because the recipe did not say. Drat all that. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I have my little, you know, gizmo that I'd made at the beginning right here with my steamer, where I'm going to put in the Lahooh, the breads, to keep them warm, probably in the turned-off oven again, until dinner time. This particular dish, the Suqaar that I'm making, one video I saw of it had all the various things, including some peppers, but also it at the very end, they just put them in the Lahooh and then wrap them up like a burrito. And it's like, I didn't expect that. I'm not doing it that way. I'm going to serve the Lahooh on the side. But it could very well, you know, work. So, we're going to find out. But I'm sitting here stalling. Stall, stretch. So people entertain me. You know, I'm curious. A few people that are actually still here. What pictures do I have? I can show you something. Oh, yeah, this is the picture of what it looked like on Sunday. That was the spiced beef with rice, which came out quite well. And the salad, you know, which wasn't a whole lot. Oh, that's still sitting there. The salad was just a salad. It was fine. Hey, that's the first time I've actually shown a picture. Okay, what else do I have? Show and tell. Oh yes, there's the salad. With the salad dressing, which was quite good also. And I still have some of that, so I might have leftovers on that. Yes, everyone's gone away. Said, oh, it's just going on. Babbling, babbling, babbling. I also fear that if I stop talking at any point, the YouTube is going to catch the music and say, you're a copyright violation. Which I don't want to happen. That's happened like 3 or 4 times already. Particularly with the older videos where I was just playing random pop music. And, you know, the Michael Jackson estate is very hip to that kind of thing. I didn't see a lot of that space beef on YouTube. I did not finish. Oh, David Dorian Ross, how you doing? Good seeing you. I was singing your praises yesterday, or Sunday, with my guest last week. I was saying about your daily Tai Chi and tea. I was trying to sell my friend on Meerkat. He had no idea what the hell was going on. And he was hiding in the living room while I was cooking the last part of my meal. The spice beef. But the YouTube. I posted the Somalia Night 1 on YouTube, but I didn't show the final dish because my guest was here, and it was going to be another half hour before it cooked, and I was being rude to him, and I didn't want to be further rude to him. So I just kind of showed what it looked like before it went to the oven, and that was it. So there'll be pictures on the blog on Wednesday of kind of how it went. The very pictures that I just posted. Hi, Kofi. I just want to say hi. I'm about to be a caller on a podcast. I want to say hi. Well, thank you, David Dorian. That is very nice of you, and I very, very much appreciate that. I'm sorry I have not been by your streams lately because I've been traveling and there's been scheduling differences here. But look forward to see you soon. So enjoy your podcast. Okay, here we go. Here goes nothing. We're gonna try to accomplish the Lahooh. We've stalled long enough. I said I would start at 8. Oh my god, I'm so thirsty. Okay, brace yourself. Okay, this said to... Okay. Because whenever I do this kind of thing with a batter, this has happened a number of times before. I've kind of screwed up. I'm going to use this. I've kind of screwed up because the batter is not thick enough, or it's too thick, or I pour it the wrong way, or it sticks to the bottom, or who knows what. And that's always a problem. What is for dinner? I just had Chinese food for dinner, LOL. Business Law, 1973. John James. I knew a John James once, and not the one on TV. Sorry, this Lahooh, which is in a bread that's like sourdough-ish, which is like a flatbread rolled up, which is like injera bread, which is Ethiopian. And then over here, cooking, we have Suqaar, S-U-Q-A-A-R, Suqaar, which is sort of like a spiced beef with beef cubes with vegetables. So that is what is on the menu. So here goes nothing. About this, I never know how much oil to use, and when to use it, and how to use it, so that the stuff doesn't stick and stuff. Sounds good. Yes, thank you. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, I'm going for medium heat, and I'm going for like just a little bit of oil, because sometimes I put too much and then I put too little. But this said, you know, if the oil dries up, put in a couple drops and then spread it with cooking paper. Nice, I will take a plate to go. That's very sweet of you. So what I think they mean, what they might mean is parchment paper. I'm taking a wild guess that that might be what they mean, and not like a paper towel. So I'm just gonna, I mean, it's heat resistant, you know, you can put it in the oven. Why would I do it with this, though, and not with a spatula? I mean, I can spread it around with a spatula, which needs to be cleaned. Okay, with a clean spatula. Okay. Well, let's do the paper, the parchment paper. See, that's, I don't know. Give it a shot. See how that works. I need a place to put this. You know what? I'm gonna stick it here. Alrighty. Here goes nothing. Out of the oven, which has been off. It started out warm, and now it's kind of off. Is our batter for our Lahooh, Lahooh, right here. And oh my goodness, you gotta see this. This is nuts. This is crazy nuts. Oh my god, hold on. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. See, look at that. Warm. Look at that. It is bubbling. It is bubbling like a lava flow. It's all bubbly. So this is our batter for our Lahooh. And okay, skillet, medium heat, yes. 1/4 cup at a time. Doesn't say anything about mixing the batter. No, it does not say anything about mixing the batter. 1/4 cup at a time. Okay, we're gonna angle you. Let's see less of my ugly face. Is that your dining area behind you where your ceiling fan is? No, the ceiling fan's the living room. Scoping the place to rob it. No, well, though we do eat there. No, we have a very small dining area. Which is that way. Okay. 1/4 cup at a time. That's a very small amount. 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup. Shenanigans. Here. This thing always comes apart when I don't want it to. There. Okay. Okay, 1/4 cup. And our oil, I believe, is warm. So digging into, wow, this, you gotta see what this looks like. So look at that. Ooey gooey, rich and chewy. You're cooking for one. No, I'm cooking for two, but the husband is probably on the road right now. En route. So the premise is that I need 2 hands is what I need 3 hands. Reach. Okay. Okay. Dropping the 1/4 cup of the batter. It's supposed to go in a circular motion. So starting here and going around in a circle. It's not coming out evenly. And it's supposed to cook it until it is brown on one side, and then it's ready. Something else I did was talking about using the back of a ladle, which I can see would make sense. So that's kind of looking right. Here, let me give you a better view. Hopefully you can see that. Aha! Shenanigans. Almost fell out. Okay. Trying to give you a view without you falling into the broth, which is going to be a tricky thing to do. Yeah. It keeps wanting to fall out. Okay, sorry, I don't know if that's going to work. You're just gonna have to live that way. Stay. Okay. Golden brown on one side, eh? Golden brown. Golden brown. Getting there. It's gonna wind up in here. It's not really a steamer, but I mean it's a steamer, but it's not being used for steaming. I don't have enough space. Caray. Be careful of my bad back, indeed. I'm trying not to set anything on fire at the same time, too. Make sure you have the number for the Jupiter Fire Department handy at any time. Say, Cliffy's on fire! Okay, now I'm taking too long. Shit, get off! There, okay. Golden brown, eh? Golden brown. I'm not exactly sure what golden brown is. I'm not really sure. Golden brown. And they're supposed to be like dinner plate size. I thought. That's not dinner plate size. It says half a cup. Maybe I made it too thick. This is the first one. First one. First one's always the worst. It's always the guinea pig. Speaking of which, we did not cook guinea pig when we did Colombia or Ecuador. My Ecuadorian friend thought I chickened out. I wasn't gonna do it. Golden brown on one side. Oh, that could be this side. Oh, you know what? I should probably use the big spatula for that. My Big Daddy. Where's Big Daddy? Big Daddy. Okay. Let's see how golden brown you are. Let's flip it. Ooh, toasty. So that's what it looks like. That's definitely golden brown. Okay. So, putting the lid on that for whatever that's worth. Okay, we're gonna try another one. Now they're supposed to be like dinner plate size, so I don't know how a quarter cup works out there. But I'm gonna go with the quarter cup again this time and see if it works. Circular motion, circular. No, it's not coming out. It's coming out in a lump. This is medium heat, my friends. Maybe I cooked that one too long. Because they're supposed to be like spongy. It's not really circular. I shouldn't be putting the batter now. That's a oops. Maybe I should use a ladle. I don't think they're big enough. Almost rust colored, I would suggest. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna try a ladle for the next one because I think they're supposed to be like dinner plate size. So, and I previously done a thing where same thing with this. So, because they're supposed to be big and you roll them up like a little towel. The first one looks great. See, that's the thing. It looks good, but it doesn't look like what I'm expecting it to look like. So I'm gonna taste it. Very tasty. I didn't have lunch. This one's for me. Oh my. That is good. Yum. Yummy. Oh my god. Oh good. The millet gives it. I don't think it's supposed to be crunchy. It's supposed to be like, I'm used to them being soft like this. I want to show you, but this thing is in an awkward place. Yeah, it's not quite so crusty, and now I have all this business in the bottom, which I do not want. I need to put more oil on that whole parchment paper thing. I think this is where that comes in. Shenanigans. Okay. Oil, 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 oil. Okay. Okay, oil, parchment paper. See how that sucker works. Don't like that got stuck on there. Ah, yeah, it came off. Ow. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna try it with this. No, that's just a little bit selfish with all these people watching. Okay, yeah, there's gonna be plenty, trust me. Okay, so I'm going with the ladle this time. Ah, too hot. Circle, make a 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 circle, not making a circle. It's not coming off the ladle. What can I do to make it not stick to the ladle? I mean, this motion, when I made, it's for, India. Oh, I can't remember the name, damn it. Oh, why am I losing my mind? There's a thing for India that, I made the filling, and it was really great. The filling was out of this world, and then there was this batter that I had to make with the rice flour. Are we still on? Batter that I had to make with the rice flour, and, still working? Yes, okay. I just went dark for some reason. And the batter totally fell apart. But I was supposed to be doing this, and I just had like lumps, and it was horrible. So, this looks more like the color and texture I'm expecting. Although, now I'm getting more batter out of the thing, damn it. Okay. This is more the size I'm expecting. Because it's supposed to be soft, and you're supposed to be able to roll it up. I do not know why my screen went dark like that. You know what? I'm going to get you some power while you wait. Hopefully that won't take too long. Because I don't want my stream to die like it did twice now. I had to cobble together a feed for YouTube off of 2 pieces. Tangle of cords. Cords. Do you think we'll live to see wireless power? I think that would be nice. Get Elon Musk on that right away. Okay. Okay, Big Mama. This is the color I'm used to seeing when I, get the stuff in the restaurant. Yes, it looks like a nice pancake on the other side. Trust me on that. Okay, so I hope we're still on. Okay. Somebody say something. Let me know we're still on. Round and round and round she goes. I hope we're still on. I did not get that disconnected notice. Okay, this is... Oh, I need to cover that up. Yes, this is the right size. You're just the right size. Oh, and of course now the batter comes. I think I'm getting the hang of this. Are you still there? Okay, yes, you're still there because I see somebody spinning around. Thank you. Ah, okay, I needed... Wait. I needed to put more oil in that. I'm seeing it kind of coming through. Not good. Not good. Here. Go over there. Fill in that space. No, this is not cooked. It's too cooked in some places and not cooked enough, and it's bubbling. Shoot. Okay, they can't all be winners. Thought I heard something. Okay. Come on, cook. Oh, how we doing? How we doing? Okay. Come on. If there was a way, like maybe if I dipped the thing in oil, that would make sense. If I dipped it in water, what would keep the ladle from being sticky? Okay, assalamu alaikum to you too. Okay, here we go. Okay. Yes. That parchment paper thing is going to have to happen here. This is the bready texture that I'm expecting. Okay. Yeah, that's more like it. More crepe-like. Yep, that's it, baby. Okay, so I need to remember to do the oil thing. Can't forget the oil. It's so weird seeing the screen dark like that. Just a drop. And the parchment paper. Interesting concept. Okay. When is the husband back? Soon. I expect him arriving in the next 10 minutes. I mean, he was thinking like, you know, 8:30 or so. But it's weird. He's gonna have to come back from a trip, drop his bags, and boom, eat. Which is, you know, asking a lot. Now, I'm used to this bubbling. Especially if I, like, let it sit. Because, like I said, I'm used to it being like, I always, when I describe the Ethiopian food, I say, people don't freak out, but it's a bread that's gray and it feels like flesh. And it's really delicious. At that point, they go, yeah, count me out. And it's really good. I mean, I tasted this. This is really tasty. But one of the recipes, like I said, they put the meat in the middle of this and rolled it up and made it like a little burrito, which was weird. But I have a lot of batter left. So I'm going to have lots of leftovers. I don't know what I'm going to do with the leftovers I have from Sunday. I mean, I'm going to probably serve the salad now. But the leftover meat, I think that's going to go away. Unless someone wants to come by for lunch tomorrow. You can pick me up while I drop my car off. This looks like what I'm expecting, so I'm saying that's okay. I'm so glad I've got this big old spatula. So glad I invested in that. He's a lucky man to walk in the door to freshly cooked meat. Yes, well, he tells me that. That looks like a perfect pancake. I wish you could see the other side of it. I wish I had two cameras that could do that. You're very sweet, thank you. Okay, I'm doing the one more drop of oil. So when I did this before, there was like butter or something, and it was like first, so some were too oily and some were too dry, and it was a general mess all around. This parchment paper thing is odd. Interesting though. It's helping get the gook off the bottom. So, that's a plus. Okay. Deglaze the pan in a fashion. Sort of, kinda. I don't think they would use wine in Somalia to deglaze the pan or anything. Okay. Alright, here we go. I can't get the circular thing. I can't. I said I'm doing a spiral, and I don't know how they possibly pull that off unless they had like a what do you call those things that bakers use with the funnel at the end? Like little, but this millet makes this taste really good. The millet and the whole grain, the whole wheat flour, that combination, super great. You saw me swallow one. Don't edit that out of context. Okay. Keep talking. Don't let the copyright gods find you. Okay. This is good. This is good, good, good. But I swear, that Indian thing, what is it called? I can't remember. But it's made with rice flour. And, you know, the recipe said to make it like pan size, except I went to a restaurant to order one to see what it's really supposed to be like. And it, honest to God, I'm not kidding, the plate's here, and then it's this big. It's rolled up, that crepe, that's like that long. And it's very crispy and very tasty. And I totally freaked out going, how am I supposed to make something that big? And I asked an Indian friend, and he said, oh, no, the restaurants just make them that big because they have the whole griddle they can spread out on. Anyone at home makes it, you know, pan-sized. I said, oh, okay, now I get it. Okay. This is the texture I'm looking for, right here. The kind of bready, fleshy texture. Fleshy in a good way. Yay! It's like that. It's like that, y'all. Like that, y'all. And it looks like a perfect pancake on the other side. Okay, one more time with a drop of oil. I think I'm getting the hang of this. I think you're really funny that when things are going slightly late, you refer to your Irish roots and say, shenanigans. That's a curious observation. Personally, I think it comes more from South Park. I think I picked that up watching that. I mean, I know the term. I've heard it in different contexts, but no, South Park when they're like, I declare shenanigans. So that kind of stuck with me. I pick up random things, pop culture wise, and then they stick for the rest of my life. Like, I'll see one Saturday Night Live sketch in 1982, and I'll be using the phrase the rest of my life. But yes. No, the Irish roots, trust me, there's so zero Irish that I just felt, I feel weird walking into St. Patrick's Day Parade going, yeah, my name's O'Neill. Does it matter? I think my parents went to Ireland. They might have, you know, it's on some trip at some point. Not to look for their roots, but just, you know, to go. And they say how beautiful it is. Everyone says how beautiful it is, and I feel I should go. We're still trying to figure out, after I hit Zimbabwe, you know, I promised the husband a trip. And it's going to be in August. And he wants to go far, far, far away. And I go, well, if it's August in Florida, I want to go far, far away where it's cold. So I'm looking at Buenos Aires or Cape Town or, you know, New Zealand. Somewhere cold. I mean, I prefer comfortable cold to freezing cold. But just not hot. I'm sick of hot. I hate hot. Live in Florida, I'm sick of hot. Was born into hot and hated it ever since. Although, listen, the Columbus winters, nobody told me that Columbus, Ohio is its own little climate. Not even like the Great Lakes climate with all the snow. So instead of lots of snow, they just get clouds and cold rain. That's it. For 6 months out of the year. And you want to open a vein. I mean, I was weeping. I was so sad every winter. I was like, oh my God, I can't see the sun. Somewhere there's sun. And when we drove here, when we moved in wintertime, first time I saw, when I was driving down, I saw a palm tree. I was like, look, palm trees, I'm so happy. Sun. And I ran out to the beach and I cried. Now it's like, damn the sun. When it can be shady so I can run. Never happy around here. That's me. Okay. Oh, that is not a circle at all. I'm glad I figured out this little thing. Yay, yay me. I don't know where they got a quarter cup, because that would have been too small. I don't say Shazbot anymore, though. Mork and Mindy references are just a little dated. See again your Irish roots today. In Donegal, it was 11 degrees raining. 11. What is 11 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? .8. That's lovely. That's wonderful running weather. I wouldn't want it all day, all week, but when I need to run, that's the stuff. I was out and I was running, and the rain started. I was like, I'm good in the rain. There was no people. The surfers, like, you know, were away. The dog walkers are away. I could just run. Then it started thunderstorm, and I was like, I can run. I just don't want to get hit by lightning. I'm sure at some point I could get hit by lightning. My little weather app has a little lightning thing. It says, seek shelter now! I'm thinking, well, that's like a permanent thing around here. If it's not like bright and sunny, it's lightning. You have two options. But in January, I'm going to be like really, really happy. You just stick around. You're going to see me on Saturday. I'm going to be happy as a clam. Everyone's going to be complaining about snow up to their eyeballs, and I'm going to be like, it's beautiful outside. I can be in flip-flops. Ha ha ha. Now I just got all these northerners out of my way so I can get somewhere. It's so weird living in a seasonal place. I mean, grew up in Miami, and Miami itself was not seasonal. There was no season. The tourist season, that was just a thing people from, you know, Fort Lauderdale talked about. I said, I don't know what the hell you're talking about season. Then I moved here, and they said, oh, you're going to live here year-round? I said, yeah, why shouldn't I? And I said, you grew up in Florida, right? I go, yeah. He goes, well, you should know. I said, no. This August, you could, you know, roll a bowling ball down the middle of the street and not hit anybody. But, you know, come February, you can't make a left turn on the street because there's so many cars. Not something I grew up experiencing. Anywho, Somalia. We're doing well. We're doing well. Oh, that beef. Ooh, the meat over here. Shoot. Okay. No. Did you hurt yourself? Oh my God, yes. Not good. Not good. Oh, you're very hot. You're very hot. That's not good for you. Do not put your face in the batter. Don't do that again. It's not healthy. Stop that. Okay. And now I have a very, very messy Lahooh. And a very hot phone. Okay. You stay there. I'm going to get you out of the fire. The ugly one. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh my God, I gotta clean that some more. Oh, ooga booga. Ah! We'll figure it out. Oh my God, that's good. Okay. I gotta clean you some more. Sorry about that. Also very steamy. So, okay, I'm gonna just tilt you over that way. So I don't burn my own hand. Okay. Can we see this here? Here. Okay. Over here. Ah! It's our meat. Oh, that smells good. Okay, spatula. So our meat is ready. Now we're going to put in the carrots and potatoes for 15 minutes here at the end. So let me strain the potatoes. Okay, potatoes in. Where's my iPad? Okay, taters into the meat. Go. carrots, go in. Go. And yes, and that's gonna be another 15 minutes. So by the time dinner is served, those should be ready. So let me cover you up. Can you see? You can see. You can sort of see. Okay, where did my lid go? Okay. Mixed in. Okay. Covered. There we go. Sorry about that little accident earlier. I did not mean to hurt you. I like you. I do not mean to hurt you. 1, 2, 3. I am going to need to catch the rest of the show on YouTube. Good luck. Thank you. Yes, it'll be there. Ryan, thank you for the like there. Yes, this is very, very late, but you know, we kind of knew that going in. Because I knew the husband wouldn't be getting home. So I was trying to be slow on purpose for once. So, I think we're doing okay. Sorry for the making people stay up late in other time zones. But everything is going to be cached. It's also on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube feed. Just search for Cliffyland. You can follow on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Tumblr. Go to @Cliffyland or cliffyland.com for all the deets. Okay, this is our... Okay, sorry, I don't want to hurt you. I want you to see, and I do not want to knock you into the fire. Which is a tall order. Okay, don't fall. Whatever you do, don't fall. Okay. Have it on medium heat, which is kind of right. But like I said, I had the feeling that we may do what we did last time. Which was kind of say, this is it, and then, you know, wave goodbye. Because of the odd situation. Weird that it happened twice in one country. That we have the same kind of dealio. Did I put the olive oil on this thing? The canola oil this time? I don't think I did. I think I was distracted. Come on. Come on, Babylon. Come on. Come on, Babylon. Come on. There you go. There you go. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can, damn it. Do it, damn it. Arr! Okay. Yeah. And we flip it. Those are like little pancakes. They really are. Kind of blurry at the top. I know. Yes, you did, Errol. Thank you. Yeah, that I have to clean off the camera more. But I gotta do one thing at a time. I need to put more oil. Thank you for noticing, by the way. Okay, I have enough for maybe just one more. Then it's gonna be time. I mean, I knew that he wasn't gonna be getting in like right when he needed to. For me, because you know that's the way life works. By the way, on non-stick, when this kind of action happens on non-stick and you can't get it out, baking soda. Rubbing it with baking soda and water apparently helps. So, in case you're wondering. Alrighty. Okay, we spread, and now our last of the batter. Hey, batter, 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 batter. Hey, batter, batter, swing. Yep, it's gonna be all. I'll clean the lens as soon as I get this one out of the way. This is the biggie. They are not all the same size, obviously. For the 1 second it takes, I'm gonna go get the lens cleaning cloth. Don't go away. Okay. Whoever this is, he's Somali. So, that you're listening to. These Somali sounds. Hold on. No, still blurry. It's also there's heat, steam coming off, and the camera is really very hot, which is probably not healthy for the camera. Oh, it's probably inside. I can't deal with it right now. So, I'm just gonna have to cope with it being a little blurry. Sorry. I had to move the lens when I was doing that. No, not on the burner. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, there we go. This is gonna be the last one. Then it's gonna go in the oven to stay warm until he gets here, which should be soon. I could find my phone thing and find where he is, but I know he's on his way. So maybe we won't get to see the homecoming. Okay, here you go. Last one. Better than it was. Thank you. I hope that helped. Okay, rubber. Biggie. They look like beautiful pancakes, is what they look like. They don't look like what I expected, at least on one side. I will show you. I just don't want to burn myself. I'm trying to be careful. Okay, okay, here they are. Like that. Whole stack of pancakes is what they look like on one side. And I'm going to stick this in here. I'm going to, hold on. Cover with the cloth. Don't burn your hands on the hot oven. Oh, wait a minute. I need to take a picture of that, don't I? Don't burn on the stove. You know what? I'm going to move everybody. Everybody, we're going to shift. Troop movement. So the phone doesn't burn up. Okay, so here's our stack of pancakes. Oh my god, that blur is a real pain in the butt. Okay, right there. Camera. PC. Okay, they're quite warm. I want to keep them warm. So I'm hoping that this magic, putting it in the oven like this, will accomplish that. It's gonna go in the warm oven. Ow! Splinter. Great. Great, great, great. Okay. Caray, no importa. Okay, into the off oven. Into the oven where it doesn't fit. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Ay, carajo. Ay, yeah. Hold it. Okay. There. Oh. I'm trying to see where that lens problem is. I have to wash things off. Okay. I'm gonna find out where it is. Oh my god, that lens. Hold on. Now that I have you in a spot where I can actually address you. Okay, you can stare at the ceiling for a minute. This is Armanta with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A's. Okay. Okay, this won't hurt a bit. Better, sort of. Not much. We're gonna have to figure it out some other time. Anywho, I'm gonna start getting the idea of plating in my mind. So let me clear some stuff off. Because those potatoes are getting close to done. Oh, you know what? I should probably taste that, shouldn't I? Okay. Putting stuff away to get ready to plate. didn't need you. And we'll be plating on here. I don't know if I should do the salad too. Hey, thank you for the follow, Sarah. And thank you for the like. Thank you very much. And. Okay. So, get our plates out. Let me see where he is. I can do that. We'll find out. See what that dinner time looks like. Are there really like 5, 6, 78 people there? Ah! He's here! Yay! Huzzah! Rejoice! Time to plate. I gotta taste our main dish here. You saw me nosh on the Lahooh before. Now it's for the Suqaar. I need something to stir. Where's my spatula? Here. And I should taste it, see if that's done. And taste for seasoning. There wasn't much in the way of salt, to be honest. But there were a lot of spices. So let's see how that... Oh, and the vegeta, the vegetable seasoning, that has salt in it too. Here goes. Ah, here he is! Yay! He's home! Yay! Are you
streaming?
Yes, I am streaming. Ow! Good, definitely need salt. Hi, sweetie.
Hello. This is Joe.
So, salt.
Hello, everyone.
He's home. Yeah, as they say, Martina says, welcome home. Yeah, so started this whole thing and he was in the air. So let's taste it again, eh? Okay. One more time. Let's get some potatoes going here. I'm sorry about the blurry. If you missed it, it fell into the batter. No bueno. Very good, still needs more salt. Maybe, you know, I'm gonna add some pepper. Cheating. I'm learning about the salting. Look at me, growing, learning and growing together. Okay, we're gonna taste it one more time. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I was gonna do that. I can take a bit after dinner. Okay. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Han?
Yeah.
You think you're gonna want the salad with it? I mean, we have salad.
Do I want to make a salad?
No, I have salad. Would you like some with it, or should I just not?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, well, I'll have it for lunch or something. Enjoy dinner, Cliffy. It was a pleasure watching as usual. Thank you very much, Martina. Okay, let's quickly plate. Time to plate. Okay, here's our plates, and here is our lahooh. So we're gonna take them out and roll them up. Roll up. Hot, 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 hot. Ah, hot. I've seen them rolled up, so that's how I'm doing. Ah, I'm doing hot, hot, hot. Ow, hot, ow, 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 ow. Owie, 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 ow, ow, owie, ow, ow, burning hot. Ah! That's not pretty. Paper towels would be better. Okay. Maybe I kept them too warm. He's probably only gonna want one. More leftovers for me. Okay, so time to serve. Rotate. Like I said, one of these recipes, I saw this served like a burrito, which I found curious. You know what I think I might do? Just for looks. Keep talking. Music is coming through loud and clear, LOL. Okie dokie. So, this, music, no, talking. Okay. I think I'm going to dress this with some cilantro. Didn't say anything. I don't know how authentic that is, but, you know, it gives it a different look, I suppose. So, there. I mean, I could put the salad next to it, but I'm going to take a picture of you. Okay, so I will give you a look there while I take a picture with the iPad for the blog. Okay, so there we have it. We have our Suqaar, which is the meat and vegetables, spiced meat and vegetables, and the Lahooh, I think that's pronounced, the kind of pancake-like, crepe-like bread. And here's the one for me because I ran 10 miles today and I can eat more. So that's it. That is week 2, night 2 of week 159 of Somalia. And so tune in next week. We are hitting 160, the big 160 with South Africa. So we just kind of go south. So doing South Africa, and I'm guessing it's going to be probably 3 nights because there's a lot of stuff to cover in South Africa. So check us out. Again, go to cliffyland.com to check out the blog, pictures, links to the recipes, links to these videos. Follow on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Pinterest, and subscribe on YouTube if you can. So thank you very much. Appreciate you coming by. Catch you next time. Till then, bon appetit and au revoir.